All right. Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Zach back again with Bemani Lounge. And today I've got with me a very special guest. As you know, I play SUBTERROR. I've been playing it for a long time, since about the time it was released, Savage Strike, around January, February 2019. And so with me today, I have Christian FORSMAN, who's one of the top SUBTERROR players. And we're going to share his list today. And yeah, so without further ado, Christian, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey everyone, I'm Christian. I'm from Denmark, and I've been playing SUBTERROR also whenever since it came out. You were the one that gave me the inspiration to play the deck in the TCG, so that was pretty funny.
Yeah, how did you come to pick up the deck?
So I've known the deck from the OCG, but I never really looked at it. But then I saw a replay, and it looked like a very, I don't know how to say it, but it was a very funny deck, because you just had hand traps for every situation, and you can stop everything. And it was I was playing Trickstars at that time, and this deck reminded me a lot of Trickstars because it played Scapegoat, Gofu, and stuff like that as well. So it was kind of the same deck, but the problem is we didn't have Guru, and then we got it in Savage Strike. And I looked at the deck, and I was should I pick this up or not? And then I watched your video, and then after that I saw a lot of deck profiles from the OCG, and then I saw other videos from YCS Chicago. I think all of them. I think you were in there as well.
Yeah,
and
probably.
Yeah. And I was just testing the deck. I played it at the YCS Düsseldorf, did horrible with it, and then I just got better with the deck since then.
That's awesome.
And yeah.
Do you have any tops with the deck? Anything that our players would recognize?
So I think my most recognizable tops is that I've topped the LCS 1, the Luxury Championship Series 1 and 2 with the deck. And then I was very close to topping YCS Milan back in 2000. Yeah, back in the end of 2019, where I went 8-3. And then I was close at Euros in 2019 and close at London 2019. So it's I've been on the bubble, but it's my first major tops were kind of what it's called. Yeah, was the LCS, and then I have a bunch of regional tops in Denmark with the deck, but they don't really count, since that the regionals in Denmark are quite small. So it's not really premier events, if you can call that.
Right. So it's a big locals.
Yeah, basically.
Word. Well, yeah. So let's go ahead and get into the deck list that you're currently playing right now. I see that you're playing a lot of hand traps in your list compared to my list. I'm only playing a couple. So let's just walk through it really quickly. We'll put it up on the screen. But looks like we have 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 copies of Effect Veiler, 2 copies of the new Ghost Mourner, 2 copies of DD Crow, and then we have the standard lineup of the 1 Umastrix, 3 Fiendus, 3 Guru, 1 Archer. That pretty much never changes. And we've got 2 Called by the Grave, and then we have 3 Pot of Extravagance, obviously, and 2 Pot of Duality. Then there's the 1 Terraforming to search out your 3 copies of Hidden City. And then for the trap lineup, we've got 2 Crackdown. That's an interesting tech that we'll talk about. 3 copies of Solemn Judgment, 3 copies of Final Battle, and then to round off, we have 3 copies of There Can Be Only One. So that is a 40-card main deck. So tell us, why did you pick some of the cards that you picked in here?
Okay, so right now, this is not a list I'm comfortable with. I changed it up a lot, but I think it's good. You can still play it and do fine with it. But my main words was that I run 10 hand traps, because I think that you need to have at least 1 hand trap in your hand to stop the Needle Fiber decks. You really want to have an interruption versus Needle Fiber. And the 8 kind of hand trap girls do that, but Crow is more against Eldritch, pure Eldritch.
Yeah.
And then I play Crackdown right now because I think it's good, because you can stop you can take a lot of things, and where they just completely end their turn. You can take a Spinny, and then it ends the turn, they don't have any extenders. You can take one of the rocks, and and interrupt that. And then if they use Conquistador or something while they have Lord, you can chain Crackdown to take the Lord so they don't get the pop. I think that's how it works.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and then like Guru itself is just very, very good with Crackdown because you can book the monsters and take them forever. That's like another reason to play it. And
yeah, that's an interaction that pretty much only exists in this deck, and that's why Crackdown is so much better in this deck than in like any other control deck.
yeah, exactly. But I also thought about playing Strike, but that's too many solemns you have, so you pay too many life points, and you never really want to have dead cards in the deck because the deck can break a lot. And I thought like the 11 hand traps was fine. Previously, I was down to 9 traps only, but like at like a SUBTERROR OCG Guru list, like before all the traps came out for the deck. But like right now, I like this. It's fine.
Nice. Okay, so that's the basic concept of your current deck list. So we have a new format, obviously. I mean, it's not really that new. It's just we've taken a few things off the ban list. But it does bring up Altergeist. How does this deck do against Altergeist? I've noticed a lot of people playing it these days.
It's kind of 50-50, to be honest. Like it really depends on the die roll and you seeing your side deck cards in the game 2 and 3. But like I think the deck it's not as horrible as people make it out to be, because I've seen a lot of SUBTERROR players that really don't like the matchup. But for me, I think the matchup is fine. Like if you open like if you actually spoofing at the correct time, if you Veiler the Marionetta, that's that's like fine. And then the Crackdown is also like decent versus deck, and then there can be only one is just like a bomb of a card. It's like probably the best card in the deck right now.
Definitely the best card against Altergeist. I tell you, that's actually one of the reasons why I'm currently on 2 copies of Solemn Strike. It's because if you go second, then there can be only one functions as a board breaking card, but if you're going second, they're pretty much always going to have some kind of negation, usually in the form of a monster. And if you strike the monster that tries to negate it, then there can be only one sticks, and you just control the game from there. That's one of the reasons I like having the strike. But I definitely think you got a really solid theory going on this list right now. For those of you who are new to the deck and maybe want to pick it up, Christian, tell us a little bit about the deck and how does it function? Like, what is the win condition of the deck?
All right, so the win condition of the deck. So first of all, the deck is like a 1-card engine, very similar to Trickstars. And it also has a field spell like Trickstars, but in this case, the field spell is way more important because it essentially is a +2 for the deck. And the deck basically wants to search out Guru, which is the main card of the deck, and it's like the deck that makes the deck function and make it like competitive. So you always want to search like your typical plays like activate city, add Guru, use city's effects, flip up Guru, and search Venus. So that's like a +2 with a hand trap. And then the deck itself, like its entire engine is so small, so you can play a lot of cards that counter the meta and a lot of hand traps as well. So, and then also the deck can play, there can be only one, which is like probably the best floodgate in the game right now for the decks that can play it. And the deck can grind very, very well. And like the main thing about the deck is that Fiendus is like a really good card in the deck. And that was like Fiendus in Final Battle that came in Maximum Crisis was probably like the best support cards for the deck, because before that, everything was like behemoths and like maybe some of like the Nemesis warriors and stuff, but like we didn't have Guru, like a way to search out SUBTERROR cards. So that's when we got this card gained like a whole new like way of playing the deck, because before it was just like something big behemoths, but now it's a more like a very control-ish deck like Trickstar, where it just uses hand traps and Fiendus to stop like everything. And then in comparison to like most control decks, I think you pointed out in your video from like way back when was that like this deck can deal damage and it can like kill people way faster than other control decks can. And that's another thing. Yeah. But like, yeah, the main thing is that you definitely want just to get access to Guru as quickly as possible. But that's also like one of the deck's weaknesses is that if you don't see Guru, it's harder to win. But like, how can I explain it? It's more like yeah, it's very hard to win when you not have Guru, but it's not impossible because Fiendish can still flip your Archer face down. It can still summon your Umastrix from the hand to like use silence interruption if you have final battle, and like this like yeah, there's like ways to play well like Guru, but Guru is definitely like the heart and soul of the deck. It's like how you win games and why the deck is good.
One thing that I found myself, I found it coming up a lot lately. Personally, the way that I'm playing the deck is obviously you establish your Guru, and if they are not able to kill me on their first turn, assuming that I've gone first and they're coming at me going second, the second thing that I search is always the Archer. Because if I'm not able to kill them that turn, then having the Archer that not only floats, but also makes the Guru a live quick effect Book of Moon without having to flip the final battle, that just like puts the nail in the coffin for me.
Yeah, exactly. Also, another thing I forgot to mention about this deck is that the deck snowballs very fast out of control. Like, if you don't stop them immediately, like you just keep doing the same thing every turn, you keep gaining little pluses every turn, and then you just win that way. Yeah. And like you said with Archer, like if you have Archer and you can have that with the Guru, and you can keep searching like the Fiendesses, it's basically just like having the 2 interruptions, and then you can keep spinning back that stuff when you're attacking. So it's amazing.
Yeah, that's one thing about Archer that a lot of people forget is that at the start of the damage step, when it attacks it face down and you control another Subterror monster, it just shuffles it into the deck. It's not a targeting effect. It happens at the start of the damage step, and it gets rid of the monster without like putting it in the graveyard or like triggering banish effects or anything like that. It just kicks it back into the deck and opens the path for Guru to deal 3,400 damage.
Yeah.
And being able to do that every single turn, and then like every turn, the Guru flipping itself face down sets it up so that you can also get the search. Like sometimes you'll do it in the end phase by flipping final battle if you haven't used it, and then you get to search the Fiendess, which means that your plays on the next turn are like guaranteed to go through, because if they try to hand trap you, then you just Fiendess. It's so strong once you're able to establish basically a lock.
Yeah, it is a lock, and you can say it's a lock because you're just not letting your opponent from playing. Like
I like to refer to it as no dot deck.
Yeah, it basically it is no dot deck, because like you'd have hand traps that like you have so many hand traps, or you can play so many hand traps that just stop them on their turn, and then if you get to your engine, you just still get 2 interruptions every turn that just like it's so good. And then if you have Umastrix, you're just gonna kill them really fast.
Yeah, Umastrix it's a card that I have a love-hate relationship with, because I've drawn it so many times with like no Fiendish, no Hidden City, no Guru, nothing. And it's just like Behemoth and 4 traps. And I'm just like, man, this sucks. But then other times, like it just clutches out certain situations where I'm like, man, I really need to just get rid of this monster and kill them this turn. And that's exactly where Umastrix comes in. Like you normal summon your Fiendus, you book your own Guru, and then you summon the Behemoth, and then you use its effect to flip it face down. Then you can use the Hidden City to flip it back face up and banish a monster. And then it gets you in for a ton of damage, because with with Final Battle, it gets up to 4,700 damage. I mean, the thing is a heckin' chonker.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and then also, like, it's very good versus like a lot of decks. Just generally, like having that banishing spot removal is amazing. Against Eldritch, it's just like you can keep banishing the Lord every turn. Against an Emancipator, you can just banish the little guys to stop them from excavating and continuing extending their place.
Yeah, because all of the Adamanticators are all ignition effects. So you would have the priority, or not priority, but you would have the opportunity on the resolution of their summon to flip Final Battle, to flip the Behemoth, and then it banishes their monster, and then they're pretty much out of luck there. Like if they've committed their normal summon, then like that's usually GG. Yeah,
definitely. Oh yeah, should we talk about side and extra? By the way, we haven't talked about that.
Yeah, definitely. Whatever you want to gravitate towards first is fine with me.
All right. So yeah, we can start with the side first.
All right.
So I play Pankratops, Nibiru. Pankratops is kind of like a free space for every single matchup you have going second, because it's pretty much good versus everything. And since a lot of players are playing their monsters in defense to protect them from Lightning Storm, it just makes Pankratops even better and can out-2 negates. For
Yeah.
example, like Savage is 25, so Penguins can beat over that, and then you can use its effect to destroy the Arclight.
Yep. Oh man, that's broken.
Yeah, and then yeah, it's just like the most versatile card in my side deck, I would say. So that's why I only play one copy. It's never bad to have. And then
Yeah,
Nibiru,
I love Pankratops.
yeah. Also, Nibiru, amazing against combo decks. Nothing to say there. It's very, very broken against Salmon Grade. It's all right against rocks. Like, if they have Guardian, it's bad, but if they don't, it's amazing. And then triple Cyclone for Altergeist and Mirror and Eldritch. And Evenly is just a great going staying card against everything, basically. It's good versus Strikers. That's Cosmic Cyclone is also good versus Strikers as well. But Evenly is like good versus everything. It's kind of good versus Salad as well if they don't have Link Revo, but yeah.
Right.
And
or
then,
if they didn't like hard draw the roar.
Yeah, exactly. Also another thing is that if they play Salad, they're usually gonna search out the Rage against you instead of the Raw. So that's like even better. And then 2 Ogres. Ogre is good versus Fiber. It's good versus Altergeist. It's very good versus Altergeist. It's good in the mirror match. It's good versus Sky Striker. It's just like a kind of like a very flexible card as well. But recently, it's kind of seen a research display. But like I'm currently testing it. I'm a little bit like weird on it right now, but so far it's performing pretty good. And it's also my favorite card. So
yeah, I have 1 ultimate rare copy, and I wish I had 3.
Nice, very nice. All right, and yeah, 3 Lightning Storm. It's like insane against all the back critics, and yeah, also going second.
I discovered a crazy interaction because in my build, I'm also playing the set rotation and Necro Valley plus 1 copy of Mystic Mine. So one thing I've noticed is that, like, you can only activate 1 hidden city per turn, but unless you have active floodgates, and you really only play, I mean, in my build, there can be only 1. So if I don't already have that up, then if I have a hidden city face up, then I can just set another copy and then set all of my cards with their effects, or just, by setting them manually or whatever. And then Lightning Storm is live again because you have no face up cards. So like,
exactly.
We're like the only deck that can actually get value out of Lightning Storm past turn 2.
Yes, because every deck is like always like kind of does some combo or kind of like has anything face up, and that's why it's like a really good. Like some people say, it's like, oh, you still have the city face up, but like you can always set like another field spell and then use Lightning Storm as you said. So it's like, I think it's like a little bit better in this deck as well. And yeah, that was it to the side. And then the extra deck, I play 1 Fortress Dragon because Cyber Dragon is a thing, and if I play against it, I kind of have an edge. And then I kind of want to talk about the next 2 cards in hand. So I play Access Code and Celine. Access Code is just like a bonk of a Link 3 or 4, sorry. Yeah. And then Celine is good at climbing up into it, but you can use it together with Orsa, and then you can reborn your Fiendus if you have more than 3 spells. And then you just have like, and then you can link your Fiendus into Link Revo, and then you just have like 2 attributes as well. Yeah, but you have that anyway, I think. But that's like another good interaction that Celine offers for control decks. And then 3 Nightmares also standard. And then the 3 best cards in the extra deck you can play, if you don't play Super Party, of course. But I think Super Party is kind of weird right now. It's not that
it's in a weird spot for sure.
So like I play 3 Anima, 3 Link Revo. Link Revo is amazing against Dinosaur, and it's awaits out in Spectre Border. Anima is great versus outing in Spectre Border as well. But another thing is that Anima is very good against the Nibiru token as well, because then you always have an out to it. You can always out it no matter how big it is. And then
that's nice.
And then it's also amazing if people like misplay a card, and that's like they just kind of like lost. They can lose to that for sure.
Yeah, if they ever just put their monster in the wrong zone, then you can punish them for it.
Yeah, exactly. And then also against Salmon Grade, you can also summon it, take the Wolf. If they have like a Nightmare, you can summon it, take that. If they have a Producer, you can summon it, force out a negation. Like, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
Another
that's
thing
really
to point
nice.
out with Ghost Ogre is that it's also good with Appaloosa if that ever comes out. But yeah,
Right.
uh,
Because Appaloosa is once per chain.
yes, and like also this is the final card I want to talk about, but this card is like so good in this deck, like because at Emancipator's deck right now, so you can keep reborning rocks every single turn, and also what's called yeah, also like if they have Pankratops against you, they side it in. And then if you can out the Pankratops and make this, you can keep reborning a Pankratops every single turn and keep popping stuff every single turn. So it's like amazing.
Wow, that's something I hadn't even thought of. I forgot. Of course, Pankratops is an Earth.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And also like there's like a lot of really good Earth monsters as well that people just play, where you can reborn them. But it's mainly for Pankratops. And then also if they pop your card, uh, like you can just search for Archer or Fiendus. And then the best
Yeah,
part about it is that it's 1850, so Sunlight Wolf can't beat Ogre except by discarding Spinny or stuff like that.
that's hilarious.
And yeah, that's pretty much the deck.
Nice. Yeah, the deck you got, it looks really solid. It's definitely a little bit different than mine. I'm actually only playing 3 Ash and 3 Impermanence, and those are my only hand traps. And I found that to be a really good way to play the deck. I mean, there's
Mm.
basically 2 ways to play it. You can either play a ton of hand traps, or you can sort of lean into like I'm a guy who like almost always will lose the dice roll. So
Mm.
having access to the set rotation as a 5th copy of Hidden City if I go first, or to have it be a 2nd and 3rd copy with the terraforming of Mystic Mine. A lot of decks are just not main decking spell and trap removal, so I'll just auto win games because like maybe I didn't draw Guru, but I go 2nd, I bait out a negate. Like this happened the other day. I go activate Pot of Extravagance. He negates with Borreload Savage, and then he doesn't have any more negates. So I just go, all right, activate Mystic Mine, and then I just sat on it until I got everything I needed.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, that's a really good interaction that Mystic Mind has,
Yeah,
and like it just people like it's like a really unfair card, Mystic Mind. That's how you like can win games with it, and that's like
exactly.
amazing.
And like with the set rotation, people are going to be siding evenly matches against you, and they're also going to be like usually playing impermanence. So if you start off with a set rotation, it turns off evenly match and it turns off impermanence. So like there's a lot less that they can do that's threatening to you
Oh yeah,
when
definitely,
when it's like
definitely.
post side. And I've also like given my opponent the Mystic Mine because like maybe I already drew the Necro Valley and I just needed to see Hidden City.
Mm.
So I had to give them the Mystic Mine. But what's hilarious is that like there's a window of opportunity for you to do something when the field spell is activated. So by the time they get the idea, like, oh, I'm losing, but they gave me Mystic Mine. Maybe I'll just activate Mystic Mine. I already have the Fiendus for it. That's happened like 3 times already.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's disgusting. Once the deck establishes control, like you said, it snowballs. Like there's no getting out of it without like some random blowout or RNG.
Yeah, and you can just again you can keep doing the same thing every single turn, and like if you just have Guru and Final Battle, you're in an amazing spot, and also Phoenix. Like, but Guru and Final Battle are like the 2 main components for snowballing, I would say, because you keep pulling the cards and then like yeah, just flipping your Guru up and searching every
Yeah.
time. It's amazing.
I know I said in the video I did for I'm So Angry, shout outs to you, Kawhi. I know I said that like the basic play of the deck was activate City, search Guru, set Guru, use Hidden City to flip Guru, and then Guru search Fiendus. But what I've found from playing the deck for a long time now is that actually the thing you want to search almost every single time is Final Battle. Because having the Book of Moon effect is very relevant, and then if they try to attack over your monster, you just negate the attack with Hidden City. But the thing is, the Fiendus needs to have a Subterror monster face up in order to do anything. Whereas, like, so let's just say like they kaiju you, or they're able to like use Pankratops to kill the Guru. If you don't have the Final Battle, like put it this way, if you have the Fiendus in hand and they don't kill you, you can revive the Guru on the next turn. And if you already have Final Battle, then that's just extra value for you. But
Yeah,
if you search the Fiendus and you have to waste it on something and then they out the Guru, then you're kind of cooked. So like having the Book of Moon and ensuring that the Guru lives is kind of paramount. Like I've held the Fiendus and somebody has kaiju'd me and then failed to kill me, and I'm like, cool. Now I just normal summon Fiendus, target the kaiju, and then revive the Guru. So
yeah,
like,
exactly. Fiendus is
yeah,
like an amazing like follow-up play. You always have. That's another thing with Fiendus is that if you search it and they get rid of your Guru, or like if you can't use the negate, or if they get rid of the Guru, you still have a follow-up for next turn with the Fiendus. So it's
exactly,
like yeah. But I also think searching both cards, it also depends kind of on the matchup,
for
because
sure.
in some ways you want to have the negate rather than the Book of Moon, because against decks like if you know, it depends on what deck if you know what deck they're playing, because if you play
Hmm.
against Striker, you rather want to have the negate in the final battle.
Yeah, for sure. But if I'm going in blind if I win the dice roll for some reason and it's game one, I'm almost always searching the final battle. Like you'll get hands sometimes where you open with like Guru and City, and so obviously like the City will search you Fiendus first, and then you get the final battle. So you have all three of them. That's obviously the best setup. But if I only have Hidden City and then defensive cards, I'm almost always game one, almost always going to go for the final battle.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely like it's very good searching the final battle, because it's like the card is crazy for the deck. Like it's so crazy.
Yeah, man. Like I played around with skill drain and the interaction that has with like skill drain and anything that negates effects but not activations is just nuts. Because like I've had skill drain face up already, and then play has passed back to me, and then I just go ahead and flip summon the Guru and declare the effect, and my opponents look at me like I'm insane, and they're like, "Dude, you're under skill drain." I'm like, "I know. Do you have a response to the effect of Guru? I can still activate it." And then they say no, and then I chain final battle, and so then its effect can't be negated. I get the search. It's broken.
Yeah, that's amazing. I tried playing skill drain once, but like I was a bit iffy on it. Maybe I'm gonna play it in the future. I'm not sure. Again, my list is not
Yeah.
not fully optimized yet. It's how
I
I want
think
to
it's
build it.
best in a format where combo is like everywhere and it's all
Yeah,
like monster effects.
yeah.
But
I
in a
think it's
format with like Sky Striker, it's not quite as good.
yeah. I also think like Sky Striker is like definitely the deck's worst matchup for sure,
Yeah, let's
because
talk about that a little bit because I've had a lot of trouble playing against Sky Striker. Even with no engage, the deck is just ridiculously bad of a matchup for this deck. So, how do you go about dealing with Sky Striker?
it's insanely hard to play against the deck, because they have so many cards that can just get rid of your Guru or bait your Fiendus, and it's like it's every time like that you kind of win by just open broken, or that you like kind of that you're kind of winning by being like, I don't want to say lucky, but like you're winning by just having the better cards overall. But like the deck is like super bad, and it also like depends on how well your opponent knows the deck, because
Yeah,
surprisingly a lot of people don't know Guru because it's not that well of a represented deck. So it's like kind of like a little bit of an edge. But it's like it's such a bad matchup for the deck. It's definitely 100% worse than playing against True Drago. I'd rather play against True Drago than Sky Striker with this deck any day.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I eat True Draco for breakfast with this deck.
Awesome.
But yeah, Sky Striker, it's actually one of the reasons why I'm still playing Imperial Order, just because I mean I'm siding it, but like that's one of the only cards that can pretty much guarantee that you win that matchup because
Yeah. Yeah.
Imperial Order just means that you don't have to waste your negates on anything except for like the Ray effect or like the Link Monster effects. Like those are the only things you have to worry about if you have Imperial Order. Or if they like
Yes.
are able
Yes.
to chain, like I used Order and they chain Cyclone, then I use the Fiendus on that, and that just makes sure that it resolves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like that is like Striker is just like it's just an insane bad. It's like a really bad matchup for the deck. Sorry. And yeah, Order just completely shuts down that deck. But I feel Order like Aura is very good against the deck, but if you don't have like a guru with it, it's bad. But yeah, like Imperial Order is definitely like an auto win for sure if you have it. And I also found that Ogre is very good versus the deck as well if you stop the multi-roll.
Oh yeah.
Multi-roll was like the card that was so annoying. And also the fact that Ray was just a hell of a card to get rid of. Like if you don't have a way to stop the striker card.
Yep. Ray is so annoying. That's one reason why I like having the 2 copies of Called by the Grave and playing also the 2 copies of Strike.
Yes, because you can just stop the summons of the strikerlings, and then you can call by the grave the Ray when it tries to trigger, except in the damage step, of course. But
yeah, that's why the strikes are extra relevant, because that can negate in the damage step too.
Yes, definitely. And yeah, also another thing with the deck that I kind of sucks about Striker is that deck only one literally kind of does nothing.
Yeah.
Because the deck can play the card itself, and it's just like a free card you can side out, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, I still like. I'm a little bit afraid to see Striker even to this day. Like I really don't want to play the matchup with the deck at all.
Yeah, that's one reason why I'm also I was mentioning this to you before when we were talking on Facebook. I've playing 2 kaijus in my side, because that's one thing that really just it kills the striker deck is if you kaiju their monster, it doesn't trigger the Ray, and then it turns off all their back row. So it kind of gives you a chance to establish your control. And if you're just able to consistently stop the Link monster and stop the Ray from resolving, then you have a much better chance of winning that matchup. The only issue is that like we're not an OTK deck, so as opposed to something like I loved when Striker was at full power, I was playing Spiral at that time. You just like kaiju their monster and then summon Tough, summon Agent, pop, 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 off you go. But this deck doesn't really have access to that kind of power. So I'm iffy on the kaijus for now. I think I'm just going to stick with like the Lightning Storms and the Cosmic Cyclones, and of course Imperial Order. Got to have those auto wins.
Yeah, I definitely think kaijus are still like they have potential, but I don't know about them either. There's like a lot of things I still need to figure out about the deck because I haven't really played a lot online recently. So I just, especially because locals open up and stuff, and I'm really trying to take a look at the deck again. Another thing I wanted to say was that like the deck itself, like it would be nice if like the support they have is like proper spell and trap removal, like in-theme spell and trap removal, because the deck already has that, but the card is really, really terrible. Like I think it's called Stickle Kraken or something like that. Like it's a behemoth that's level 5. It's like you would just rather play Cosmic Cyclone or like even Lightning Storms, except like the card is just bad. And also like every behemoth is a break, except it's like has a good effect. And like Umastrix is like the only behemoth you can play because it's like actually has a good effect, and it also has good stats where it's combined with Final Battle. Because if you look at like a lot of the other Subterror cards, they have like pretty well-rounded stats, and they don't really have like any how can you say, any like stats that are just like not equal, kind of like. So if you look at like the level 12 guy, I don't remember his name, but
the one that's like the Book of Eclipse.
Yeah, exactly. It has like I think only 2,000 defense and 2,000 attack or something like that. It doesn't really have that high stats, and it doesn't.
I think he's at like 3,000 attack, but he's got 1,800 defense or something like that. And there's another one that's like 3,000 but only 1,400 defense. And them being in defense mode, yeah, they're just bad, most of them.
Yeah, and then there's also like the behemoth that can make Colossus, but that we don't talk about that.
Yeah, we don't talk about that anymore. Rest in peace.
Yeah. And yeah, another thing I want to say is that of all the decks right now that I think the deck has the easiest against, it's probably Adamantipator, because there can be only one is just one hell of a card versus that deck as well. Also against Eldritch. It's like
I actually don't even know if I've lost a single match so far against Adamantipator with this deck. It's a very strong matchup.
Yeah, it is. Like I have lost very few, but usually I just win because Also, Guru can just flip the guy face down, and then it just shuts off that turn. And also,
Yeah.
like, crackdowning or solemn judgmenting a certain card can also just completely destroy. But like, they can be only one. It's just like an auto win.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and also rockets. Rockets is also like an auto win for this deck.
Mhm.
I know a lot about that. But like, I've been playing against the rocket deck for a very, very long time, and I have not dropped a single match with the deck, except for like I think one at locals, but that was like. But
That's
yeah,
nice.
usually yeah, and then but like the deck is like the deck really cannot out. There can be only one, and I would never understand why you would play less of that card, because that card is simply the best card in the deck. It's one of the big reasons the deck's actually good right now.
Yeah.
Is because it's just probably one of the best traps in the game, if not the best trap. Because
It's so oppressive. Like, I was playing against Dinosaur the other day, and they were doing the Jet Synchron, Halki Fibrax combo shenanigans, and I really didn't have anything except for there can be only one. And he goes normal summon Jet Synchron. I'm like, cool. Make Link Rebo. Cool. Jet Synchron effect. Summon the Jet Synchron back. I'm like, there can be only one. I forgot up until like the moment before he started making that play. I was like, wait a minute. Jet Synchron's a machine, and Halki Fibrax is a machine, so you can't make Halki Fibrax.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it just shuts off everything, and also against Eldritch just shuts off all the trap monsters. Like it shuts off the Conquistador. It shuts off. It also shuts down Dinos, as you mentioned. It shuts down. What more is there? Also guys as well. It's like it's good versus almost every single deck in the format right now. So
I even played against Necros, and I chained it to the activation of one of their ritual spells, and it fizzled because they already had a type of that monster on the field.
Yeah, the Deck Million One is just such a good card. Like,
so
it's
oppressive. But I think we've done enough singing the praises of There Can Be Only One.
Yeah.
I think the video might be getting a bit long, but you know what, man? It's been really great to have you here. I've been really thankful to have your insight on this deck.
It's been a pleasure, yeah.
Yeah, thanks. So, guys, I think that's going to wrap up our Subterror in-depth discussion. Thanks again to Christian for joining us on the channel. And
Thank you for being
here. Of course. And don't forget to join us in our Discord and check out some of our tournaments. We host them a couple times weekly. Actually, recently we've been playing for Boxes of Eternity Code, and it's all on Edo Pro. So if you don't have it already, just download it. And yeah, join us in the Discord, join us on Facebook, and thanks again, Christian. We will see you next time. This has been Zach, and I'll catch you guys next time.